So in this video, we want to talk about Canton Network, the growth of this market cap and what Canton really is. What are the key drivers in this ever-growing asset in the RWA privacy intersection? So currently, Canton is and has been one of the strongest cryptocurrencies to date, with a $5 billion market cap, an exceptional TVL, and a very, very, very strange, but nevertheless important tokenomics design. You can see circulating supply, total supply, but over here you do have max infinite supply symbol. Now we want to navigate through this, in terms of the bear market. What you want to do is find out what are the key drivers for certain cryptocurrencies. And Canton, since day one, has been on an astronomical rise. You have US Treasuries go to crypto with about 10 billion milestone, which is rewriting the rule books of government debt. So this is an important article, of course, talking about one of the key features of Canton. And this is a tokenized treasuries powerhouse. So if we're talking about the US tokenizing its treasuries, I think Canton is where the money is flowing right now. Now, the SEC approved DTCC deployed tokenized treasuries on Canton, and this was a signal. JP Morgan was another huge signal for their money fund, Ethereum-based US Treasury yields. And on top of that, you have the ratings agencies, Moody's, coming out saying they are going to integrate Canton's engine on their analysis on chain. So this is quite important. We want to go through this. So smash a like if you're obviously like me doing your research, and we'll talk about pricing in just a second. So as part of the initial rollout, this Moody's news here is, of course, it is a privacy chain and it's regulated and it's ready for institutional finance. But Moody's customers now have a new way to access trusted credit insights within a digital marketplace. Of course, Canton was the sole beneficiary of this announcement, which is incredible, really, when you think about, of all RWAs, 11.8 billion split is made up of US Treasuries. And I think that is going to significantly grow. Non-US debt makes about 1.2 billion. Of course, specialty finance, assets-backed credit, commodities, and so on, or corporate credit, of course, and so on and so on. But Canton has absolutely been leading this way. Market share right now in terms of US Treasuries is about nearly 90%. You actually see the figures right here, and it's set to only grow. Now, in terms of the latest news, it's also been listed on Robinhood. This was back in February. Of course, right now, not many retail customers or retail investors actually know about Canton, but we're gonna try and change that. So DTC and the Fed eligible securities on Canton. This is very, very important. And this is what the DTCC is all about. It's called the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, and the digital asset partnering to bring tokenized on-chain version of the DTC and the Fed eligible securities, starting with US Treasuries, which is what I just showed you, to Canton Network. Now, the goal is quite specific. Of course, it gets longer and more complex. I'm only giving you some of the, snippets here. But what basically it means is to enable 24/7 liquidity and financing to be tokenized, or tokenized securities to be on chain with Canton. With over 100 trillion in assets or inventory, DTCC or DTCC aims to create liquidity pools on chain or as part of their collateral to improve settlement speed and capital efficiency. And how this was going to work, again, you've got to have to go through the whole thing, probably the white paper yourselves, because you can't part with your money without doing proper research. But I would say how it works is basically you bring treasuries on chain and it's held by the DTCC members, and it's custodied at DTC within the secure regulated environment. Of course, the project had some milestones as well. Broad Industry Group completed a live 24/7 trade using on-chain US Ts or US Treasuries achieving the intraday trading hours for repo financing. So this is all insane. This is institutional stuff. And additional real-time repo transactions have since been followed, including a multi-stablecoin financing and, of course, collateral reuse. So Canton's privacy infrastructure is what really enables all of this, right? So this actually enables, you can see some of the stuff here, but it really just does enable, in terms of their capabilities, ensuring the institutions are confident and they remain it remains confidential, while still leveraging on their public blockchain infrastructure. A broader rollout, a wider industry rollout, including the additional DTC and Fed eligible assets, will also be expected during the second half of 2026. So who can get involved with the DTC or DTCC? Participants on the buy side firms and Canton applications are invited to engage with DTCC tokenization as a service. So industry participants like digital assets, like Circle, Bank of America, TradeWeb, and others, JP Morgan, and the list goes on and on. So here's what I would say. Canton is coming under a bit of pressure at its decision time, of course, currently on a key support of 14 cents. What I do expect to see is another major support level around 12 cents. If this was to break 10 cents, all bets will be off the table, in my opinion. And you can see that there is quite interest if it breaks the 10 cents marker. Anyway, let me know, or 14 cents. I mean, it is the first time we are seeing a retracement of the price in a 24-hour, along with the entire market. We did see that major dip, it got eaten back up a little bit. And again, you can go through the white paper if you really, really want to understand how it works in terms of Canton Coin and Mika and others, in terms of the white paper specific, the coin, tokenomics, the whole lot. And of course, they've got a demand burn mechanism. And on top of that, they do have a, of course, when there's demand for the token, they, kind of accelerate the burns. All right. So that's Canton for you. Keep this on your watch list. Again, for the last 30 days, it's down 13%. It is a big coin, but it's there to compete with the larger cryptocurrencies, in terms of market cap versus volume is absolutely incredibly low. So still, from a volume perspective, we've only got $5 million. That is largely to do with the limited big exchanges. You've got Kraken, Bybit, KuCoin, of course, OKX, and a lot of the trading happening at least on Bybit. You can also stake this through Bybit as well. But it's a good one to watch because honestly, I have bought a bag below 10 cents. I did a buy alert on this and then I sold it around 17. And now I'm interested just to keep this on the watch list. But as far as all the noises go with JP Morgan, Franklin Templeton, and all of these big players, US Treasury assets are going to be a significant part of the RWA scene. And of course, it's already doing better than a lot of major chains. All right. Let me know if you hold Canton. Of course, if you're buying Canton, if you're watching Canton for your bear market hit list, smash a like, share the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.